Every time you open your phone to navigate somewhere, order food, or track your run, you're using technology that wouldn't exist without her work. Yet for decades, almost no one knew her name. In the male-dominated world of 1950s computing, a brilliant black mathematician named Gladys West was quietly revolutionizing how we understand our planet, and ultimately, how we navigate it. This is the story of the forgotten genius behind GPS. Born in 1930 in Sutherland, Virginia, Gladys West's childhood was defined by the endless rows of cotton, corn, and tobacco that stretched across her family's sharecropping farm. While other children played, young Gladys watched her parents break their backs in the fields, making barely enough to survive. But she saw something else too: a way out through education. Despite living in a segregated community where most black children were expected to follow their parents into farming or factory work, Gladys was determined to be different. She studied by lamplight, often late into the night, earning the highest grades in her class. When she learned that her high school would offer free college tuition to the top 2 students, she didn't just aim for the top 2, she became valedictorian. In 1952, West graduated from Virginia State College with a degree in mathematics, in an era when less than 2% of all mathematicians were women, and even fewer were black women. She had already defied enormous odds, but her greatest challenges and achievements still lay ahead. West joined the Naval Proving Ground in Dahlgren, Virginia, in 1956. Only the second black woman ever hired there. She walked into a world that wasn't ready for her. The cafeteria was still segregated. Male colleagues often dismissed or ignored her contributions. Some refused to share their work with her entirely. But West had an advantage they didn't expect. She was brilliant with numbers. When the facility acquired one of the first major computers, the massive NORC, Naval Ordnance Research Calculator, she was one of the few who could program it effectively. While others saw endless strings of numbers, West saw patterns, possibilities, and precision. Her greatest challenge came when she joined a revolutionary project, creating a mathematical model of the Earth, not as the perfect sphere we learn about in school, but as it actually is. With all its irregular bumps, dips, and variations, the existing models were crude, inaccurate, and ultimately inadequate for precise navigation. The task seemed impossible. The amount of data was staggering. The calculations would take years. Many thought it couldn't be done. "Let me try," she said. Few took her seriously at first. For over 2 decades, West devoted herself to the painstaking work of modeling the Earth's shape. She developed new algorithms to account for variations in gravitational, tidal, and other forces that distort Earth's surface. Her mathematical models incorporated millions of measurements taken by satellites, creating an increasingly precise picture of the geoid, the Earth's exact shape. This wasn't just academic exercise. West's calculations were revolutionary because they were precise enough to track the exact location of satellites in orbit, and, by extension, anything on Earth those satellites could see. She was essentially creating the mathematical foundation for what would become the Global Positioning System, GPS. The work was exhausting. West spent countless hours processing data, often staying late into the night, checking and rechecking her calculations. One error could throw everything off. She developed new ways to process the massive amounts of data, wrote complex computer programs, and gradually built a mathematical model of unprecedented accuracy. In 1986, she published data processing system specifications for the GeoSat satellite radar altimeter, a 60-page technical document that became foundational to GPS technology. The paper was groundbreaking, but at the time, few understood its true significance. West herself was modest about her achievement. simply moving on to her next project. Despite the revolutionary nature of her work, West's contribution remained largely unknown for decades. Her name didn't appear in early histories of GPS development. When people thought about the creation of GPS, they pictured rooms full of male engineers and scientists, not a black woman from rural Virginia. Part of this was due to the classified nature of much of her work. Part was due to her own modest nature. She rarely spoke about her achievements, but a large part was due to the systematic overlooking of contributions by women and minorities in scientific fields. When she retired in 1998, after a 42-year career at Dahlgren, there was no grand ceremony, no major recognition. Her revolutionary work that would help billions of people navigate their world was still largely uncredited. Like many other hidden figures in scientific history, West's story seemed destined to fade into obscurity. Everything changed in 2017 when a member of West's sorority, Alpha Kappa Alpha, read a short biography that mentioned her work on GPS. Finally, the world began to learn about the mathematician who helped shape our modern navigation systems. Today, every smartphone user carries a piece of Gladys West's legacy in their pocket. Her mathematical model of the Earth and her work on satellite geodesy were crucial stepping stones to the development of GPS. Technology that now helps guide everything from your daily commute to emergency response systems. From precision agriculture to military operations. In 2018, at the age of 87, West was finally inducted into the Air Force Space and Missile Pioneers Hall of Fame, one of the highest honors for those who have made significant contributions to space exploration. Her story has become an inspiration for young women and minorities in STEM fields. But perhaps her greatest legacy isn't just the technology she helped create. It's what her story reveals about innovation itself. Great breakthroughs don't just come from the most visible or powerful people in the room. They come from brilliant minds working in the shadows. People who persist despite being overlooked or underestimated. Gladys West's story reminds us that the next world-changing innovation could come from anyone, anywhere, if we only give them the chance to shine. The next time you check your phone's GPS, remember the brilliant mathematician who helped make it possible, and wonder how many other hidden geniuses are out there just waiting to be discovered. If you've been inspired by Gladys West's story, make sure to subscribe to our channel for more forgotten geniuses who changed our world. Leave a comment below sharing what surprised you most about her story. Was it her humble beginnings, her groundbreaking work, or the fact that her contribution remained hidden for so long?